Tired of your bullshit.
I hate Gwenpool, right?
I do.
But
Why
I
do you
found I found a way to make her likable, and
Yeah.
that's to put her against Quentin Quire
Oh.
and have them bounce off each other.
Hey, by the way, welcome to the latest episode of NOLA Nerdcast, episode 14. But who will the nerds blame now? I'm Matthew.
I'm Chris.
Blaming what? I'm Josh.
I don't know. Chris.
Well, so here's the thing. You might think it's real easy to come up with a fresh title every week, and some weeks you're right. But this week nothing happened. But the only thing of note is the Big Bang Theory is ending next year. So who will all the nerds blame for all the problems next year?
I see what you're getting at.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's not a lot to go on.
No.
You know what? That's fair. So Big Bang is finally ending, huh?
Yeah, we can finally stop hearing about nerd blackface and everything.
Well, you know what? It's still it's like nerd like Pringles. You know, they're not good for you. There's nothing of substance in it, but damn it if you don't just enjoy binging on a whole pack every now and then.
I have caught some episodes at the gym, and there's at least one scene every episode that will make me laugh.
And yeah, I know it's super pandering, and it actually makes fun of nerds more than celebrates them. But fuck it, I don't care when I see them go into a comic book store. And I'm like, oh shit, there's the new Green Lantern. Look at that.
It's just weird that there would be 4 DC guys that are friends together,
right? It's like us.
None of them love the
X-Men. It's like our friendship, Chris. Except there's 4 of us instead of just us.
Oh,
the Just sad. Us League.
Oh my god,
that's sad.
Oh.
So, yeah. So, what's going on, buddy?
I did not hear you, honey. What'd you say? Oh, but she said we're actually dateable.
Ha! That's true. We are.
Except Josh.
We're not weird, emotionally distant psychos.
So, where is our best friend, Doug?
Doug is with his lady friend tonight.
Doug has a lady friend.
Doug has a lady friend.
Nice. Go, Doug.
Calm down, shippers. It's okay.
No, I totally ship them now.
Yeah, he's out and about doing his thing.
Good. Good for him.
Matt, you want to talk about some comics before we get back into the list and all the video game news?
Can we talk about the Punisher? Can we talk about the Punisher murdering people?
We can, because Chris read the Punisher. I didn't, so please talk away.
So it's like I was telling Matt. I read my 6 or so books, and I wasn't really particularly wowed this week when I finished. And then I was flipping around and I saw people talking about 2 books that I picked up on a whim, West Coast Avengers and The Punisher.
Yeah, what's up with West Coast Avengers?
West Coast Avengers is delightful. It is Hawkeye, male Hawkeye, female Hawkeye, Miss America, Miss Hawkeye's new boyfriend, Fuse, Quentin Quire, and Gwenpool.
I do love Quentin Quire.
That sounds like a disaster of a team.
And you know what? It absolutely is a disaster because the whole first issue is them fighting land sharks, like sharks that walk on land. And then they're like, we should have a team out here. And Hawkeye's like, yeah, well, I'm not going to be part of it. So this is yours, Kate Bush. And she's like, well, okay, let me get some heroes. So they have your traditional like dumb hero thing, like a guy that's made out of bread, a guy that's covered in spiders, someone called the Dutch Oven, who was a man covered in a blanket. My favorite is like this woman comes by and she's like, where's the other Hawkeye? Is he single? And after a pause, Kate's like, you know what? He's super gay. He's just completely gay and he's not here. And they're also being followed by a reality TV series. So it kind of feels like New Warriors for a bit. Back when that book was fun before it got dark.
Oh, that got dark real quick.
It did. But so it's 1 issue in. I found it utterly delightful. As I said, I don't really care for Gwenpool, but having Quentin Quire also there and everyone telling them how much he sucks is wonderful. I also picked up The Punisher this week. So I haven't read The Punisher since Greg Rucka's book ended. And he's been off doing lots of stuff. He was in Secret Empire. He was evil Captain America's major flunky, because it's canon that Steve Rogers is the only person that Frank Castle respects. So when evil Nazi Steve Rogers tells him to do things, he does it. He stole a War Machine armor, and now he's back, and he's going to start hunting supervillains. And this issue ends with him, and I'm going to give you a little spoiler warning for like 5 seconds. We're going to try spoiler warnings. We'd never have spoiler warnings on this show.
Spoiler warning and fine.
He shoots the Mandarin in the head at the UN.
Don't worry, it's not actually him. It's definitely just Ben Kingsley.
It might be Ben Kingsley. However, this causes Baron Zemo to declare war on the Punisher. And I could not be more interested.
I'm in.
I'm absolutely in. So it's nice to let Frank Castle go off and do whatever, and then come back to him and see like what's up with him.
Some of the art in it's really good, and then some of it's really questionable.
It's very sketchy, and I don't hate that, because I think the Punisher book should be kind of not as polished as other books. Matt, did you read anything that caught your fancy this week?
I did.
Like what?
Can I just point out, X-Men Red is consistently one of the greatest X-Men books of this current generation of Marvel. Yes. I really enjoy the heck out of it.
I liked it a lot. Its ending reminded me of right after the original Uncanny X-Men run ended, when Kieran Gillen took over and Cyclops made his extermination team.
Yeah.
The end reminds me of that a lot. Where basically Jean Grey says, look, someone is manipulating you to hate mutants, and if you hate mutants more than you did before, you need to think about what's going on, because my team will fight you. And she's got a pretty good team.
Yep.
The only concern I have is what's going to happen after Uncanny relaunches. Is this book ending? Is this book dead?
Yeah, I mean, we know Blue and Gold are ending, but what about Red?
The solicits came out. I didn't see anything about Red ending, but Uncanny is going to change the status quo again, so who knows?
Yeah. All right, Chris.
Yeah, what's up?
Did you read Justice League Dark?
I did. It's okay.
Man, you shut your mouth. That moment when you realize that Nobu is the bad guy and Dr. Fate's has been taken over, and then you know what? The second they were like, "Yeah, it's Kent Nelson," I was like, "Man, they're really just sweeping Khalid under the carpet, aren't they?" But nope, they actually tied him into it too.
I was so pleasantly surprised that Khalid showed up in this book, because I also thought that they were like, fuck this guy. Let's not ever mention him again.
No, I love that, and I love when you find out that it's actually Nobu, because you know what? Even though he's technically a good guy and a Lord of Order, I've always loved when they treat Nobu as the villain, because he's so obsessed with the Order, he actually just betrays everyone.
Yes, if you cast your mind to the distant past in the Justice Society of America,
which is
Jeff Johns played with this an awful lot about Nobu being not entirely good, but not entirely evil either.
Yep, I loved it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I thought the thing with that Wonder Woman saw as a child was very upsetting.
Hecate or
Hecate.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's not a real god anyway.
Oh, good. Steven has never read any issues of Justice League Dark, but he saw the animated movie with them. So yeah, it's very similar. Swamp Thing, John Constantine, Zatanna, except this time they've added Wonder Woman and Detective Chimp into the mix.
Because they know they know how to get me to buy a book.
Hey, Detective Chimp. You know, it's weird, Chris. Now you're reading 2 books with characters you absolutely hate, Gwenpool and Man-Bat.
Oh my God, don't remind me. What's wrong with me?
Times have changed you.
I know. I hate it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
A lot of rage?
No, not rage. It's just, I feel like I've gone back on everything.
I'm talking about the Red Lanterns, Josh.
I've turned my back on my principles.
You don't have principles, Chris.
Not anymore, apparently.
You get older and you're kind of like more accepting of just whatever.
Yeah, I guess so.
You're kind of just like, whatever, I'm going to read this.
Chris, are you going to give Brian Michael Bendis' new Scarlet relaunch a look?
No.
No?
I read others. I read Scarlet the first time around, and I didn't care for it. So
you didn't? Okay, I've never read it. So,
it's not what I want.
Last week, I did read his other new series that he launched with DC called Pearl.
Yeah.
The one about the tattoo Yakuza girl.
Yeah.
That was really friggin' really good. He teamed up with his partner from Jessica Jones back in the day, that classic run of his.
Yes.
Both of them are teaming up again for this new creator-owned project, and it's real good. It's just one issue in. Who knows where it'll go, but I was really surprised.
I'm very glad that it's good and that he is allowed to do his creator-owned stuff. It's just not what I'm interested in.
Now, Chris, before we jump into the next part of our list,
sure,
there has been a massive amount of news this week.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Because it is currently Gamescom, also known as Europe's E3.
Yay!
Which I feel like we're getting a lot of really cool shit in Gamescom, actually. Like, we've got some really good footage from Resident Evil 2, more Cyberpunk information, and Devil May Cry.
Maybe new for you.
What?
It might be new to you, but they're just showing you screenshots of a trailer I saw months ago.
Yeah, whatever. Dude.
All right, calm down.
I think it's pretty exciting.
I'm very special. No, but I mean, here's the thing. Sony usually has a very large presence at Gamescom, and they really are just very subdued this time. They aren't really doing much at Gamescom. This has been the show of Nintendo and the show of Xbox. Now, granted, a lot of Microsoft showings are coming on PlayStation, so maybe they just didn't feel the need. But a lot of the news coming out this week has been on everything but a PlayStation. So I'm going to go hit some highlights, okay? The big thing from Nintendo was they had a big direct talk about all the new indie games coming out. And they got a couple really substantial gets. It was just like a whole slew. I mean, a lot of them were games that have been out before, but man, there's just something special about having it on the Switch. I don't know what it is. There was like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 22 games were announced coming out between now and next spring for the Switch on the indie side.
The Switch definitely has a lot to kind of merit getting one, if you'd so like.
I agree. Now, I'm going to go down the list of games.
What are you saying, Josh?
What's the big game on the list for the Switch, Matt?
The biggest games is Windjammers 2, the sequel to the surprise hit Windjammers. Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, Moonlighter, Streets of Rogue, Children of Morta, Slay the Spire. Big hits like Terraria and Undertale are coming to the Switch. Stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nintendo got their shit together, and it's looking really good for them.
Oh, we'll get to that later. But more Gamescom news is we finally got more gameplay of Resident Evil 2, like Josh mentioned. The new game by the creator of Souls games, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, Josh, not only got a collector's edition gameplay trailer, but also a release date. It's coming out next March.
That looks really cool. That game looks really...
You know what else is coming out next March? Devil May Cry 5. Also with a brand new trailer and a release date. Next spring is looking absolutely insane. I don't know
like last year.
What's going on? It's like last year's early spring. Because now we have, in the first 3 months of the year, we have Kingdom Hearts 3, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, Devil May Cry 5, Anthem, Crackdown 3, Metro Exodus, Days Gone. And those are just the ones off the top of my head, not mentioning like Japanese games. Like we know Code Vein and stuff are coming around that time. Indie games. Like that's just the known major. Oh, Division 2 is coming in that 3-month window. It's crazy pants. They announced, Chris, that the Halo Master Chief Collection is coming to Games Pass September 1st.
That's very cool. I already own it for the Xbox.
But now you'll be able to download it and have the new updated version.
It's already downloaded.
I know. Days, what's up?
He's like, it's already done.
It's that 100 gig albatross around my neck.
Yeah. The Xbox One is getting a triple threat of major PC games with a DayZ coming to Xbox at the end of this month.
Sorry,
PUBG leaving early access in September, which is notable because now that it's no longer early access, you'll probably hear about a PlayStation 4 launch soon. And then a game called Hunt Showdown coming to Xbox. This might impress Chris. Guess what the Switch is getting? Saints Row the Third.
Neat. That could be really fun.
Saints Row on the go. That's what they should have the tagline.
I have a small question for you, as it were. Is it too little too late for PUBG to go on consoles?
Well, I mean, it's already been on Xbox for a while, and it's actually doing really healthily there. It's just no one talks about it anymore because Fortnite is just completely dominated, but it still has like 6 million players.
So it's one of those things where it's still doing really well.
But no one gives a shit if you're not already in that ecosystem because Fortnite's where everything's at.
Like Eve.
Yes, just like that. Like the kind of games where you're like, boy, I haven't heard about it at all, but they're still doing really well. Like Sea of Thieves. You know, no one's talked about it since it came out, but apparently it's doing really well. Like, good for them. It's just no one cares anymore.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. Let's see. What's next? Shenmue 3 got a release date for next year on the same week that Shenmue 1 and 2 HD released.
If you love Shenmue, good for you, but I can't do it.
Yeah.
A lot of Shenmue happening.
Battlefield's getting has a beta coming out. Unfortunately, the same week as Spider-Man. So
whatever.
Sorry about that.
That's
Cyberpunk's gonna be great. I just cannot wait for Cyberpunk, man.
Yeah, that Cyberpunk looks so awesome. I don't even know anymore. I'm waiting for it. I'm ready for it. I think.
Now, you want to know what I think the biggest and coolest thing that was announced that we didn't already know about?
Wow.
Bandai is partnering with Supermassive Games, the creators of Until Dawn and stuff, to create something called the Dark Pictures Anthology, a series of smaller scale horror games in the same vein as Until Dawn.
That's really cool.
The first one is called The Man of Medan.
I saw the
Sean Ashmore. Yeah. It looks fantastic and is done in the same style and gameplay as Until Dawn. But they're going to be like those types of games, and it's just going to be an anthology. Is it not direct sequels or tied together, but taken all together, they're going to be related.
Until Dawn may be one of my favorite games. And the fact that, it's not a direct sequel, but in the same vein is kind of exactly what I want.
Exactly. Oh, man.
So I'm extremely excited for Men of whatever.
Men of Medan. MED.
Men of Medan. You know what it is? I keep getting the trailer confused with that Steve Carell drama that's coming out.
Oh yeah, no, that one looks really good too, though.
It's like Marwin, I think.
Yeah.
So any kind of M word is kind of conflated in my mind.
Also, we got the first trailer and announcement for Life is Strange 2. And it's actually caused quite a stir in like a weird way.
How so?
Life is Strange 1 featured 2 bi-curious / maybe lesbian teenage girls on a weird time travel journey. And this one is now starring 2 Mexican American brothers who are making a trip to find their dad back in Mexico. And so like Hispanics and Latinos are really happy that they're getting a big game that represents them in a non-stereotypical way. But now all the people that felt really connected to Life is Strange 1, the LGBT crowd, are like getting mad at the Hispanics for like taking their game, I guess. it's weird. It's a weird scenario because you have two historically underrepresented factions kind of like beefing over this, and I really don't think that was the developer's intent.
Yeah, I think people kind of need to get over like this sensitivity of things. This is probably how the story is going to unfold and how they want to tell these stories. Like, just let it happen.
Well, I mean, I can see both sides. Unfortunately, I'm the worst person to comment on it because everyone on this show is a straight white male because Doug's not here. So I don't really want to get into it too much because I feel like we're the worst people to have opinions on this. I just wanted to like bring it to the attention.
No, yeah. So I just
and
think
Matt, you may be the worst of all with your blonde hair, blue eyes.
It's true. I am literally a like a Nazi wet dream, minus a physique that's any kind of quality. But you know, that's fine.
It's fine. All right. So what else?
Next up, we have. No, I mean that's pretty much it for Gamescom news. Out of instead of like random stuff here and there, but that was the big stuff.
Okay, cool.
But
great.
there is one more thing.
More Resident Evil
out today. The NPD numbers hit for July.
Okay, what you got?
Let me tell you, this was quite a mix-up of a month. For the first time in 2017, the Switch once again took top place by a very strong margin. And Chris, would you like to guess what the #1 game of July was?
I don't have to guess. I know. It is Octopath Traveler.
It is.
Oh, I was going to say
Traveler,
Zelda in the Wild.
2D, like retro-inspired Japanese RPG dominated the NPD sales this month. I mean, admittedly, July is one of the slowest months of the year, but that should not have that taken away for Octopath. That is doing gangbusters. Square Enix actually had to issue an apology because they underestimated the demand the game would have and did not supply enough to retailers. And they were urging people to buy digitally while they waited for more shipments to come. And I think that's funny. Like, good for that. I really hope that we get more games in that vein.
Hopefully it'll start a kind of a resurgence.
Fingers crossed. But yeah, so Nintendo just had a gangbuster month. They had the top-selling hardware, the top-selling dollars in sales. They were the #1 publisher. They had the #1 game. It's cray-cray.
So is the Switch really this magical?
Switch is phenomenal. You need to get one, Josh.
I do.
But I don't know if you need to get one, but if you get one, you will not have a shortage of things to play.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great games for it.
Which is like
titles.
the anti-Wii U.
I'm not gonna lie, Josh. There's been many times where before games that would be a no-brainer on PlayStation, like indie styles and stuff, like I now just go, I'm just gonna get on the Switch. Like the Mega Man X collection. I was like, no, this is gonna be a Switch game. Like having Mega Man, every Mega Man X game on the go, like, yeah, of course I'm gonna have that.
You have the Mega Man X collection. Do they have the remastered version for the PSP on that collection, or that's not on there?
Maverick Hunter is not on there.
Okay.
Saki's even playing Switch right now.
Saki's playing the Switch right now.
Oh, okay. Look at she's she's like, oh yeah, playing the Switch. Yeah. I'm waiting for that Metroid. I'm waiting for the Metroid information.
Look, I have it on very good authority. Metroid Prime 4 is going to be next year, but before that, we should be seeing a Metroid Prime trilogy.
Okay. I just want to Switch controller with the Metroid color scheme.
Oh, you're going to get that.
Okay. That's it.
100%. Don't worry about that.
That's when it's going to happen.
But yeah, that's the quick and dirty of the NPD numbers. So why don't we just move on to the next 25 of our list before we run out of too much time?
Okay, let's do it.
What we have?
So, the last number we left off on the Resetera's 101 top essential RPGs was number 50, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords, where Chris shared a very delightful anecdotal tale about the dangers of messing with
Obsidian games. Stay away from Obsidian games.
From 49 to 25, and then next week instead of doing the top 25, we will do the honorable mentions, so we can lament the loss of Shining Force 2.
And we're already working on our own lists to come out.
And then we will be working on our own list. So number 49 is a game that never seems to go away. Even when you think it's finally dying, a new expansion comes out and revives the world around.
Oh, this is World of Warcraft, isn't it?
It is World of Warcraft, and they are now at their highest subscriptions in like 6 years because the new expansion is apparently just really damn good.
So I was a day one adopter into World of Warcraft, and I played up until the Burning Crusade. And
did you play Wrath of the Lich King stuff?
Which one was first?
It was Burning Crusade, then Wrath of the Lich King.
I may have jumped on for Wrath of the Lich King, but I didn't stay.
Okay.
And this game was, it was so crazy at the time that it was such a good RPG that you could play. It was very addictive. I remember driving around in a post-Katrina world trying to find Wi-Fi so I could play anything to go do my dailies. And every now and then I get the pang to go back and kind of wander around, but the game has changed so much. There's no place for me anymore in it.
This is not my home.
It's not anymore. I used to be a Tauren shaman, and now who knows what's happened?
They're all dead.
Maybe, possibly. They lit that goddamn tree on fire. Who knows what happened? Not me, because I don't care enough, but I don't know.
Things have gone cray-cray.
Sure. But I loved it. When I played it, I was deeply in love with it.
Well, good.
You don't have anything. I know you played it.
I mean, yeah, I played up until Wrath of the Lich King. Cataclysm was starting to come out, and I'm like, I had to stop. I was losing too much of my life to that game. Like, during Wrath of the Lich King, I was hardcore. I was raiding. I was doing the heroic raids. I had my work schedule was built around being able to play World of Warcraft with people. They're like, we raid on this day, and I tell work, I'm like, I can't work this night. Like, it was bad, and I did not want that in my life anymore.
Matt,
What?
Little took 3 days off of work for the expansion.
Yeah, one of her best friends took 3 days off for the expansion because she still is hardcore into it.
Wow.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
More power to them.
Exactly. But, yeah.
Okay, what's next?
Next up, we have 48, Dragon Quest V, Hand of the Heavenly Blade. I can't quite talk about this one. I never played 5. I went from 4 to 7 to 8.
I think I might have played
5 and 6 initially never came to America, and they were only recently released on DS.
Yeah.
Unless if you like wind up downloading like the ROMs and stuff and played really bad translated versions of the games.
That's alarming. I just opened my case and there's nothing in it.
There's nothing there.
Oh no, Chris.
Oops. I hope it's around here somewhere. How awkward.
I did play this one. This one was a pretty good one. This was pretty good.
I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Not my DS either.
It's gone forever.
It might be.
Well, don't say that, Chris. That's sad.
You're telling me.
So 47 is one of the games that I desperately think deserves higher. I haven't had too many gripes with this list so far, just a handful. This is one of them. This should be a top 20 minimum.
Okay.
I think Josh might agree. I'm not sure if you've played this, Chris, but I'd like to think you'd agree.
Let's hear it.
Super Mario RPG.
Oh yeah, this is a top 20.
I have not played it, so.
This game was light.
No.
Oh, Chris, you would be delightful.
Well, you know what? Maybe if they release it on Switch, I'll play it.
Man, I hope they do. Anyway, Super Mario RPG.
Great.
Is the greatest.
Wait, what was that, Josh?
No, I was saying I think this game is great because you can have Mario, Peach, and Bowser in the same party. And I thought that was just the craziest thing, just doing that. That's it. Great game. Matt was gonna tell us some great stuff. Matt, what you got?
I mean, the game, it had a battle system. It actually debuted, and like a lot of games use this after. But the timing-based battle system, where if you press a button, you can do more damage, or press a button and you can mitigate damage. And so it kept you invested in the turn-based battle systems because you had to like learn each enemy's movements and stuff so you could hurt them more or take less damage. And a lot of games since that have utilized that method, but Super Mario RPG actually originated it, and it's fascinating.
It aged pretty well too. Going back and playing the NES Mini, the SNES Mini, it's actually aged very well.
Word. You ready for the next one?
Yep.
Hey, what's up, Dan in chat?
Dan's in chat.
Our boy Wiz. I miss him. All right, 46 is a game none of us have played unless you downloaded a file from Europe. We all hold out hope that one day Nintendo will announce it officially, but today is not that day. I am, of course, talking about Mother 3, a.k.a. the sequel to Earthbound, a.k.a. the game that Lucas from Smash Brothers is in, even though no one has ever played it, really, because we never got Lucas. They call everyone that's played it has said it's way better than Earthbound, but I wouldn't know because it's a friggin' nightmare to play.
Well, do you think that they'll release it on the Switch?
I desperately think so. I hope that they will. I keep hoping that they'll announce an American translation of Mother 3 available digitally on 3DS and Switch, whatever, because we're approaching. The problem is we already passed the 10-year mark for it. Like the 10-year anniversary of Mother 3 was 2 years ago, and nothing happened. But now we're about to enter the actual anniversary of the Mother franchise.
Yeah. When is that?
I think it's next year. So okay. I'm really hoping that we get something because Nintendo knows, like Reggie has made like references to it. They actually made a joke about it during one of their E3 directs with the puppets. Well, no, they teamed up with Robot Chicken, and they had like one of the people in the audience ask, "What about Mother 3?" And Reggie like eats a fire flower from Mario and sets him aflame. So like they know that people want this.
I remember
they just
that.
Don't know what they're waiting on.
They don't care, so they don't have to.
But I like to believe that they care, Chris, because I have hope in my heart.
Okay.
45 is the Legends of Heroes Trails in the Sky. Now, you might have heard me mention this first, one of the other ones earlier in this list. It was the second one. Scrolling up. Where are you? I don't know where it is. While I look, I forgot one piece of Gamescom information is Grandia 1 and 2 are getting HD remakes and releasing on the Switch.
What?
So you'll be able to play Grandia 1 and 2 together on the go. Yeah, number 73 was Trails in the Sky, second chapter. So number 45 is Legends of Heroes Trails in the Sky, first chapter. So there you go. But yeah, Josh, get a Switch. Number 44 is Fallout 2. Back in that old style of isometric tactical CRPGs before it all got ruined by Bethesda.
Really?
I have it on Steam. I haven't gotten around to it, though.
I wish I liked it.
You don't like it?
No, I wish I liked like the new ones.
Oh, well. That's an important qualifier.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, yes, honey. 1 second. Number 43. Has anyone ever played Vampire the Masquerade Bloodline?
Nope.
I always wanted to, but I never got. I never had the capacity to.
I've heard nothing but phenomenal things about it. It's apparently right up there with Deus Ex and like cyberpunk style games where it's just pure freedom.
Yeah.
And you just kind of like do your own thing. You can play any type of character you can think of, but apparently, like graphically, it has not aged well, much like the first Deus Ex. But there are a handful of mods that make it still really good. It's just apparently it's just a lot of trouble to get to run on current machines.
I wonder why that no one's ever tried to kind of upgrade it. I guess Vampire would be like the closest upgrade.
Yeah. Now I am going to let Chris handle this next one while I dip out for a hot second. Number 42. Chris, what can you tell us about the original Deus Ex?
Wow. Wow, way to put me on the spot. The original Deus Ex is an incredible piece of gaming. A level of freedom, the ability to handle problems however you see fit. Everything about it is almost perfect. And I've played it dozens of times, and I find new things every time. The mods, the ability to kind of super jump your way up to places and run fast and all that nonsense. It just makes for a really fun experience. Now, it has aged really badly, and for modern baby sensibilities, it doesn't have autosave, which is something that always kind of stops me in my tracks when I go back to replay now.
Have you ever tried to see if there's a mod for it?
I don't fuck with mods. But
good answer.
But no, I adore this game. This is probably my favorite game of all time. It's almost due. I'm almost due for a replay, I think. But
you should stream it, Chris.
Maybe I've got the equipment.
You can let me from afar dictate your choices. As someone who's never played it and doesn't know the consequences of those choices, I think it would be fun having you have to live with my choices.
Yeah, I'll think about it. I like that idea a lot. But no, it's my favorite game. I adore it. What number is this? Like 40 whatever?
That was 42.
42? Yeah, I guess so. We'll have to see what else was above it.
You think that's a fair?
I don't know. I need to see what's above it.
Okay, right above it is Divinity Original Sin 2. Now, much like Octopath and Breath of the Wild, this is a very recent game. It came out late last year and is actually just about to come out with a console definitive edition. Widely called in the CRPG genre, which is that isometric, over-the-top tactical style of RPG. Widely known as a modern classic and one of the best of all time, which is high praise because it's a stacked genre filled with Baldur's Gates and stuff like that. But
too new to judge.
I will say this, Chris. I really, really want you to get the PS4 version when it comes out. Josh as well.
You can play it together?
It has 4-player co-op.
I like that.
Is it really good? Like, that's the thing. Is it really good? Does it live up to the...
Yes, 100% it holds up. I got it on Steam because I was a Kickstarter backer and got a free code.
Okay.
I have heard the same thing from other places who've just mentioned, like, Divinity Original Sin is good.
Like, we're talking like the level of interactivity between its mechanics and systems. The magic is phenomenal. Like, you can literally cast combined spells to create exactly the kind of reactions you would think would happen in real life.
Interesting.
Where, cast a rain spell to create a puddle anywhere and then lightning bolt and electrocute people. But that's like basic stuff. You can transmute yourself to grow a pair of wings and fly on top of something to like flank somebody else. It's crazy pants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, Dan asking in chat, we are going through Resetera's top 101 essential RPGs of all time. It recently just got updated for last month. The newest game on the list was Octopath Traveler, and we're just going down. We're doing 25 a week, and we are now at 41. Moving on to 40 is the original Valkyria Chronicles. the wartime JRPG.
Isn't this based on World War One or two?
World War One. It's a
Okay.
very loosely reimagined World War One. If everything was anime.
World War One, the unsexy war.
Oh, they made it sexy, Chris. Don't worry.
Sexy now. Look out. Anime girl with a gun.
They
That's all.
made it sexy.
Yeah, no, I got nothing.
All right. Well, Valkyria Chronicles 4 comes out later this year. So there's that. Next up, we have at 39, Skies of Arcadia, another classic. It was originally on the Dreamcast and got re-released on the GameCube. Did anyone else play that? It was the Sky Pirate RPG.
Sounds like it would have been fun.
You never played it?
No, I missed out on that one.
Man.
Tales of Symphonia, I think, was out a year after that, and I played
that generation had the PS2, GameCube, Xbox generation had so many good RPGs, but
yeah, too much. It was too much.
There was no such thing. 38 is the incomprehensible Kingdom Hearts 2. The start of the. Can you actually tell me what Kingdom Hearts is about?
This is Cars. This is the Cars of the list.
This
Why is it there?
Not this guy, but this other guy took away his body and his heart, and now he's a nobody and a heartless.
By the way, Josh, I can't wait for Kingdom Hearts 3 to have a Cars world, so we could actually say Kingdom Hearts is the Cars of the RPG world. I just want Sora to go pachow.
Oh Jesus!
No,
number 30. Wait, what's up, Chris?
No, I don't have anything. It's just
okay.
A joke.
Number 37 is The World Ends With You, which, if our boy Mason was in chat, is one of his all-time favorite games.
And it's coming for the Switch soon.
And it is being remade in its entirety on the Switch, probably to pave the way for The World Ends With You 2.
Okay.
It's got a really unique battle system. It's an action RPG that uses it's based in the real world, so you actually play in like downtown Tokyo.
Okay.
Josh, you'd probably like it. It's very heavily musically influenced.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I would probably play it on the Switch.
Number 36 is a great game and the one that got me through my Katrina depression. Dragon Quest VIII: Journey of the Cursed King.
Yeah, this was
out right when Katrina hit and I evacuated, and it was just me in my grandma's basement, like just disheartened over the loss of everything in my life, playing Dragon Quest VIII, and I just cracked out and 100% of the game.
Nice. Sucks about Katrina, but nice with that. Yeah, this Dragon Quest was a joy. I really enjoyed the game.
It really was.
It looked amazing too. It still looks amazing.
It does.
It really
on 3DS. It's crazy to me that the 3DS can run like PS2 stuff.
That's crazy.
And of course, I mean, yeah, that's like there's like a 20-year gap in between them almost. But man, I don't even care. It's just fun when you can take stuff to go like that.
Hey, Matt, were the 90s 5 years ago?
I know, right? It was. Number 35 shouldn't be on the list at all.
What is it?
Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind.
Come on.
Morrowind is like everyone's like it's like the grail for those type of RPGs. People lose their mind over Morrowind. It's a really good game, but it's I don't know. I think there's a lot of haze. I think there's a lot of haze through time with Morrowind.
Morrowind had more freedom than the other later Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
It was also full of dumb bullshit.
Yeah.
But I kind of liked it because you could turn into a werewolf.
Nobody loves Morrowind, Kogasu. Calm down. Number 34, 100% should be higher. I don't know by how much, but I think at least top 20.
What is it?
The original Pokemons. Pokemon Red, Blue, Green, Yellow. Generation 1, the thing that started it all, should 100% be higher.
Yeah, I think the later generations were better games, but in terms of importance, they probably should be higher.
Look, I'm sure it's probably because it was the first, and I spent so much time on it. But man, never before could you bring your Game Boys to school and play other people. Like it was the first thing that truly built a community of gaming friends with me, where we would sit and pore over our teams and our lineups and fight each other after school with the link cable. Like, I mean, it had just never been done before, and it was so good. And then you realize that they did that on the decrepit ass original Game Boy. Like, this wasn't even Game Boy Advance. This was, and then of course the friggin' anime came out and ruined everything. Because literally before the anime, Pokemon seemed so badass and awesome, and then you had Ash Ketchum whine his way into battle every time. And you're just like, bro, you're killing me. Come on. And
what a hero.
Then they remade the anime and made it fucking badass with that series of shorts. I'm like, why couldn't this be people's first experience with
Because
Pokemon?
it's a dumb show for babies.
You're a dumb show for babies. Get out of here.
Shut up.
This is a dumb show for babies.
This is the dumbest show for babies.
Number 33.
We're basically jangling keys.
Number 33 is Final Fantasy VIII.
Okay.
The story of ... and his girlfriend Renoa.
Well, ... was going through a lot of issues, and he was, listening to My Chemical Romance and just trying to find himself in the world with lost memories and magic and a card game that was extremely addictive.
Oh, 100%. Triple Triad is the star of that game.
Not only did I not sum up that game,
time cumulatively winning every card in the game.
plus that game
Playing the actual game.
That game can be broken on the first disc.
Oh yeah,
by that card game.
I love it because you just keep getting cards and you break the cards down into spells, and then you juncture those spells onto yourself, boost your stats up to ungodly amounts of. You could be level 5 and beat the game if you had the right spells equipped.
I'm surprised I've never tried to make Triple Triad like a mobile game.
Oh, it is a mobile game.
Is it?
Yeah, you can play Triple Triad on your iPhone right now, and it's dangerously addictive. Don't do it.
Wasn't Triple Triad also playable on the Play Online launcher for 11?
Yes, that they released the Play Online launcher on phone, and that's how you can play it as well.
Okay.
It's a good spot, though.
Okay. Neat.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, number 32, the original Demon's Souls for PS3. The only one that has never been re-released or remastered.
I'm happy this is on the list. I really enjoy Demon's Souls as much as
it's important. It might not be the best one, but it had the mechanics that the light and dark mechanics, and also created that entire genre. Demon's Souls started it all.
It's a little more brutal. Also, like all the other games have come and gone, but like there was something about the challenge in that game.
There was something about that first time you crossed the bridge and the dragon flew down and fucking roasted you, like right off the bat. You're like, wait, what? Like, look at this bridge. Walk. Oh my God, run back. Nope, not happening. Burn. You die. You're like, oh, well, fuck me, I guess.
This is how this game's gonna play. Yeah, this game's in a good spot.
Number 31 is Final Fantasy 12.
Okay.
The final of the PS2 era, recently re-released, is Final Fantasy 12 HD. It was the first to truly kind of revolutionize the battle system. It's the first one that dipped away from turn-based, like Final Fantasy X, and went into more of a real time with the Gambit system.
I really like the Gambit system in theory. I've only played a little bit of 12 when the Zodiac edition came out. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's the extent of your...
That's the extent. That's all I got. I mean, I've like I said, I've only played a little bit. I'm only human.
Are you?
Time in the day.
There's not enough time.
There isn't. There really isn't. When you're getting old, there's not enough time to play any of these.
Do you remember the episode of American Dad where he develops a pill that allows you to work throughout the day without sleeping?
Yeah, I remember that.
I would kill for something like that.
Right, so you can just play every RPG and
I could just do anything. I could catch up on all my stories. I could play games. I would love it.
Number 30, Dragon Age Origins, which is the second best of the Dragon Age games.
What's the first?
Dragon Age Inquisition.
Okay. I was gonna say, if you were gonna say 2, I would have just been like.
Then you know I'm trolling you.
I think this is the one I played and I didn't care for it.
I loved. See, I played this one on PC, and this was the game that had the biggest difference between PC and console, because the PC version had the tactical pause, where you could pause the game. Like Inquisition added it later for consoles, but you could pause the game, issue commands, and then restart it and it would carry everything out. Whereas on console, it was real time all the time, and it really took away from the tactical strategy aspects. I love Dragon. It was the first RPG where I chose to play as a mage instead of a warrior.
Interesting.
So, number 29, I feel should be way further down.
Okay.
Another really recent game on the Switch, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Also known as Anime Bullshit, the RPG.
Is this too new to be considered?
I mean, it's almost a year since release. It came out last Christmas, so I don't think so. I just think, like all things, the further time goes, people's recency effect and their nostalgia for it will dip.
But recency effect is a bitch.
Are these games really good?
But you know, I mean, it's also, I mean, it is way better than Chronicles X and Chronicles 1. I'll give it that. But the story is too blah for me. A bad story in an RPG is not as forgivable as bad gameplay. Number 28. You ready, Chris?
I'm ready.
Final Fantasy X.
I played a fair bit of 10, and I really like it a lot.
10. My gripe with 10 is the same gripe I had with the 7, which was it made everyone too samey. The sphere grid system and the materia system served to kind of make every character feel pretty indistinguishable from the others.
Besides their limit breaks.
Well, yeah. And the fact that at least in 10, everyone had a type of enemy that they excelled at, like Waka would be able to hit flying enemies.
Right, that was cool.
Also, Blitzball was cool.
Yeah, and the summoning system in that game was really cool.
Yes, where you actually play as the summon, like the summon becomes a character.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it was very good, and I mean, there's a reason that it's such a classic and sold fucking gangbusters, but
I feel like it's forgettable.
How can you forget that laugh?
Yeah, the laughing scene is pretty.
Also, the scene of what's her name, Yuna, where she makes that water platform is in every anime music video of the early 2000s.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah, pretty forgettable.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, next up, we're almost done for the night. Number 27 is Undertale.
Okay.
I mean, look, it might not be your favorite, but you cannot deny that this has not been a very culturally impactful game.
No, I heard it was really good.
I would never deny it. I just didn't play it, and I have no desire to.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it is fun. It's just it's almost too easy to kind of dock the game points because the fan base is so insufferable. But that's not fair to the game.
Yeah.
No, that isn't. But like, yeah, it's just I haven't had time to even play most of these games. Like, I don't even.
Josh, get up on your RPGs, baby. Now, Chris, I'll let you take this one, okay?
All right.
Number 26 is the original KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic 1.
Man, if you could cast your mind back to the distant past, you would know how dire Star Wars was. You know, the prequels had just started coming out, and they were not good. And all of a sudden, we got this huge RPG with force powers and a really engrossing story. One of the first really great twists of the modern era that was helped because no one had the internet, so no one could find out.
Yeah.
Everything about KOTOR, it's a little jank now. We've got better games that have come out, but it was the gold standard for licensed video gaming for a very long time.
Oh, the game was great.
It's so good.
So good. And I always have the question, it's like, why does the dark side have the better power set? Just so good.
Because evil is dumb.
I thought it was good as dumb.
That's what I meant. Good as dumb. But no, and it also had the branching path where if you played, if you had the goody ending, it played out one way, and you had the dark side ending, and one of them is canon and one of them is not.
Yeah.
And also, it didn't erase your characters if you ran from a fight. That's a huge A+ right there.
It also had the murderous robot in it, right?
It did. HK-47.
Yes.
He was the best character for a very long time.
Whatever, meatbag.
Exactly. You're welcome.
Yeah, the game's in a good spot.
It is.
Number 25 and the last one for tonight before we call it quits.
Mm-hmm.
Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door for GameCube.
We need to switch this with Super Mario RPG.
Agreed. You know what I remember most about Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, Chris?
What's that?
Is the absolute shitstorm. One of the very first times I remember fans on the internet losing their mind about a review.
Whose review?
Game Informer gave this game a 6.
Oh,
And it was the same month that a bunch of really high-profile PS2 and Xbox games came out that reviewed really well. And I remember because I joined a specific Game Inform during the middle of this controversy, and it's where I met Sochetta and a bunch of other people that you've met, Chris. Like Ross. Remember Ross from the Wii launch?
I like Ross.
Yeah. Anyway, it was during this time that I met them all, and I remember like being really surprised by how that was when I first realized Nintendo fans are insane. Like that was the first time I heard about a journalist getting death threats because they reviewed a game lower than they wanted. Like, and I was like, oh my God. Because Paper Mario GameCube got a 6 out of 10 in Game Informer. People lost their fucking minds.
That's so crazy to think about because that game is so universally beloved nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, but 14 years ago, what you gonna do? The world was a different, more innocent place.
Sure.
yeah, it wasn't.
It was.
It feels like it.
It feels
I mean,
like-
we're in a literal hellscape. I mean, anything feels better.
Yeah, it does.
Wow, this list has got some interesting names that you've been throwing out.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, I really like these kind of lists. So next week, like I said, we will discuss the honorable mentions.
Can you give us a teaser on one of the honorable mentions? Throw it
I
out
did. Remember last week I said it was The Shining Force 2.
there?
And
Throw another one out there.
Yeah.
you want another tease?
Yeah,
Tease it. Tease it.
All right. How about this? Instead of teasing it, I will announce. They also, like, this is a very in-depth list. They also totaled up the top series by total points of games in that series.
Dragon Quest has the most, doesn't it?
It's Final Fantasy, baby. Final Fantasy's at the top.
Okay.
But guess what number 2 is?
I don't know. What is it?
Persona.
Oh.
Oh, I never saw that coming.
So they broke it all down. So you ready? So Final Fantasy started in 87. It had a combined total of 1,385 points with 28 nominated titles.
Oh,
Average points per title, 49. Points earned outside the top 101, 105. Percentage of points outside of the top 101 is 8%. So 8% of the Final Fantasy games did not make it to the top 101.
That's
Interesting.
Persona had 7 nominated titles, only 688. So the difference between first place and second place was doubled.
Oof.
98 average points per title, though, so they scored higher per average game. followed by the Souls series. Number 4 is Pokemon. Number 5 is The Witcher. Number 6, Fallout. 7, Mass Effect. 8, Xenoblade. 9, Mario RPGs. That includes paper. Number 10, Shin Megami Tensei. They did split that from Persona.
Interesting.
Number 11 is Elder Scrolls. 12 is Fire Emblem. 13 is Dragon Quest. 14 is Nier and Drakengard. So the Yoko Taro verse.
Those 3 games.
15 is Suikoden, 16 is the Mother series, 17 is Legend of Heroes, 18 is Kingdom Hearts, 19 is Deus Ex, followed by Dragon Age, the Tales series, Divinity, Diablo, and rounding it out at the 24th place is Phantasy Star.
Huh.
Interesting.
So there are a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 runners-ups. No, I'm sorry, it's 25. So why is there only 16 right here? Maybe they're listed after... No. Maybe they haven't finished the... Anyway, they say there's supposed to be 25. I only see 16. But
Well, who knows what'll come out next week?
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
So what are the honorable mentions? Throw it out there.
No, I just gave you something else. We'll save the honorable. If we're already missing 8 honorable mentions, it's going to make the list too short if we know too many of them.
Good point.
But anyway, let's wrap it up because it's already 10:30. So I'm Matt.
You're in Florida time, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are Matt. I am Chris.
I'm Josh.
And we are the NOLAnerds, and we will see you next week with the next chunk of the top 101 RPGs of all time. And
Also-
other stuff, of course.
Also comics and
Yeah, other stuff.
other
Chris
stuff.
is going to talk about when he got his balls waxed. It's going to be great.
What?
Hey, as a final note, you guys should watch The Venture Brothers this season.
I haven't seen it yet. Do you have it on your Amazon or something?
No, I've been recording it off television. See if it's on the app.
Maybe I will.
Matt, let me tell you something. The 3rd episode of this season
Uh-huh.
has callbacks all the way to the 3rd episode of season 1.
All right. I'm excited.
Because I immediately started rewatching, and then there are things that they explain in that first 3 episodes, and I'm like, that is explained in that episode.
Okay.
Is the 3rd episode in season 1 the one with the jaw guy?
No, that is the 3rd one is on Gargantua 1. It's in space.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm excited.
Yes.
I love, like, only Venture Brothers would do a callback to an episode that happened fucking 15 years ago.
Yes, and not only that, everything else they explain is callback to previous episodes. I really want to get a whiteboard and work out the timeline of the Venture Brothers, because it has got to be exhausting to keep track of.
Okay.
I don't think you should do that. You don't have the time.
I don't have a whiteboard big enough. I've only got the one house. I don't have a board that big.
Well, we can get you one.
Thanks. Let's kickstart me a board so I can write out the Venture Brothers timeline.
I like it.
All right. We will
All right.
see you all next week. Be good, everyone.
We will. Josh,
Thank
don't leave yet.
I'm not.
I want to show you guys something.
Okay.